Welcome to Blue by 90, your Michigan football podcast. We are three dudes who talk maize and blue. I'm Kalen, joined by Nate and Jack.
Heyo.
And we took a little break last week, but now we have the news, right? And we will be playing Alabama in the Citrus Bowl.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Alabama Crimson Tide, yeah. Guys, what do we think about that, Jack? What's your kind of preliminary thoughts?
I'm hoping that all their starters sit out. That is my thought. That's my thought going into the game. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know, Nate. What do you got on that?
Dude, this made me so angry. We talked about this last time on like what we wanted in the bowl game, and I know you wanted to get like Auburn.
Yeah.
Right? I wanted a cupcake game, and dude, just seeing like Penn State getting Memphis, stuff like this just ticks me off.
Oh yeah.
Like how is it that I get it? It's like two brands, that are, really well known. They're gonna play each other, and there's gonna be a lot of money generated. But I just want a cupcake game, just so we can end the season on a good note, and that way we just don't have to deal with this constant like, oh, Jim Harbaugh can't get anything done. It's like, dude, come on. I'm pretty bummed that we're playing them.
Yeah.
So
Another thing though is like I go back to prior to the Ohio State game, and it's pretty great. The last episode of the podcast got a lot of hate from Ohio State fans.
Yeah,
which is pretty fun. But
thank you for your views. Yeah.
I think we all felt pretty confident going into the game that it was going to be competitive, and I mean, you see Ohio State ranked pretty high in the college football playoff. They're in there with LSU and Clemson and Oklahoma, but like I feel like there's not really a big reason for us to not be confident going into this game.
Right.
Versus Alabama. So, I mean, granted, they're
So you think we can win?
Team. I mean, I don't know. They don't have Tua. I'm not sure how great this, was it Mac Brown or whatever this guy's name is? The backup quarterback for them.
Mac Brown, isn't that like a name of a comedian or something?
It's a UNC football coach, right?
Yeah.
Tech used to be at Texas.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Isn't that a comedian?
But I mean, who knows? I mean, I know they got Jerry Jeudy's playing for them, so they got their best player.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy said he's playing.
I mean,
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. That's who it is. Mac Jones.
Yeah.
His name Johnny Mac Brown.
What?
That's the comedian you're talking about?
This is no. That's also an American college football. He's from like the He's from the 1970s.
What the hell?
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Well, I mean, okay. So we're playing Alabama. Honestly, and the first thing I kind of think of is I think Alabama has more to lose than we do, right? Because we've already been through the whole narrative of Jim Harbaugh can't win anything, blah, blah, blah. So we lose, it's the same old spiel. They got nothing new to say.
Yeah.
Alabama loses, then now all of a sudden it just totally flips the script.
Yeah.
Right? And now I guess Alabama fans might say like the season was already a train wreck because we lost 2 games. Our QB was out, blah, blah, blah.
Dylan Moses was hurt beginning of the year.
Right, exactly.
Star linebacker for him.
So they'll make a bunch of excuses. But I honestly kind of look at this game and go like, hey, there's a lot of reasons for us to come in and be like ready to play, and less reasons for Alabama to come to this game and be ready to play. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think it could be a similar situation to like Texas and Georgia last year.
Right, exactly.
Georgia didn't make it to the playoff, and it's like Texas is like, oh sweet, we get to play Georgia, and they knocked them off. So I think it could be like one of those scenarios where Alabama might come into the game a little deflated, where Michigan's got some guys that are probably gonna want to go to the draft and see if they can improve their draft stock if they have a big game. So I don't know. I'm not gonna expect anything. I'm gonna have low expectations. I'm gonna say we're gonna lose, but.
That's what I'm hopeful for. I'm hopeful that, we kind of come out just fired up and they come out flat and we just...
Because Shea, if Shea has a big game, that'll help him.
Yeah,
maybe he'll be a late round draft pick.
Yeah. Guys like Nico and DPJ, that would definitely help them.
Yeah.
Nate, what do you think kind of about this game a little more in depth?
I have no clue. I have no expectations. If they...
So here's a thought, right? Just looking at some of how Alabama plays versus how we play, I don't think we're going to be able to stop Najee Harris. No way. We couldn't stop Jonathan Taylor. Couldn't stop Ohio State's run game. And so, I mean, Alabama's run game, No.
They're gonna run the ball over
Yeah,
us. Yeah,
they're gonna run on us. So I'm almost kind of going like, if you think Don Brown kind of overnight's gonna be like, oh, this is how I stop running backs, right? No. So they're just gonna run through us. So this game is gonna turn into a shootout if we're gonna be competitive.
Right. It'll be kind of like Ohio State Part 2.
It's a good way to describe it, yeah, and hopefully a different ending.
Yeah, hopefully we don't drop the ball and make dumb mistakes.
Right. But also these bowl practices would be huge for next season, right? So, I mean, I think that we're definitely treating this game like the end of the 2019 season, and we're not just throwing in the towel and getting ready for 2020, right? Like, this is going to be 2019 guys. Shea's going to be the QB 100%. And, you know, all of our regular receivers are going to be in. It's not going to be, let's get some playing time for this young guy, you know, necessarily.
Right.
Do you guys have any opinion on that, or?
I mean, yeah. I think maybe we'll see some young guys get in. I'm curious if Tariq Black is even still on the team, if he's going to play in the bowl game, or if he's already gone. If he said he entered the transfer portal, I'm assuming he's probably already gone.
I assume he's already gone,
Yeah.
and even so, they're not going to play him anyway. There's no point now,
Yeah.
you know. So, but I think Kalen, you're right about Najee Harris. Like, they have a big offensive lineman, or they have a lot of big offensive linemen. Najee Harris is a stud. I think we're not going to be able to stop the run. It kind of reminds me of Ohio State and Wisconsin, so that's what I'm nervous about. Because even though they have a lot of great wide receivers, and even though the quarterback is, you know, kind of, we don't really know much about him yet, and they still were super competitive, right, with Auburn and even LSU, and so you go like, well, I don't know if we're on that level, and our defensive linemen have not been able to stop the run against a really good opponent.
Yeah, we just don't have the size, right, to stop, you know, a defensive tackle to actually be like a run-stopping defense, right? We're built for speed, sideline to sideline, kind of. But I did read somebody saying that we might look at picking up a defensive tackle from the transfer portal.
That's what I was trying to find something on there.
Yeah.
Where are they coming from?
Michael Williams from Stanford, 6'2", 305, defensive tackle.
Very nice.
I mean, that would be a good, you know, little addition for our team. But yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too much about picking up anybody else on the transfer portal or doing anything like that. But yeah, I mean, looking at this bowl game, I'm not necessarily looking forward to it because I think the writing's on the wall here a little bit. I don't want to beat a dead horse either.
We're all like,
We're all pretty much like, ugh.
Oh God.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
if there's any year to get Bama, it's probably this year, right?
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their defense isn't anything special. I don't want to get killed for saying that again. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's going to be a shootout. We'll have to score over 30 points, 30, 40 points, you know, to, I think, win the game. That's my prediction. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this would be very similar to Ohio State, like going into it. You know, we know we're not going to be able to stop them defensively. We've got to be able to keep up with them offensively.
Yep. I agree, 100%. I guess we can kind of look towards next year a little bit if you guys want to.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, so Tariq Black in the transfer portal. What do you guys think about that? You think it's smart move for him, or you think?
I guess. I mean, maybe just try to start something new somewhere else. I mean, he's just been hurt, and I feel like just other guys have taken his spot. But I don't know. I think it could have been something where if DPJ and Nico are leaving, you know, he might have a better chance of being like a number 2 receiver.
That's what I would think too.
So I don't know. I'm sure he's got a good reason for it. He probably,
Yeah.
you know, maybe he, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wish the best for him. I loved him when he was a freshman against
when he
Florida.
was
He had a
healthy.
big game, yeah. So I mean, hopefully he gets healthy and does his thing. But
yeah, I feel like he might have just kind of seen himself sliding on the depth chart.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe he was not gelling with some of the coaching or something. Like all kinds of stuff behind the scenes could have been happening. Yeah. But I'm just curious to see where he goes, and I hope he executes as well as we know he can.
yeah.
So, Tariq Black.
We got Uche's leaving. Uche's gone, right?
Yeah, Uche declared.
Lavert Hill's gone.
Liver Hill, he's going to the draft, right? Just
Yeah,
graduating.
yeah.
Okay. Carlo Kemp.
Carl Kemp, I think he's a maybe, right? Like he might come back, or is he a senior?
I don't know.
I feel like we talked about this last time, we couldn't figure it out. So possibly Carlo Kemp.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that transfer from Stanford that'd be helpful, and see if Mozzie Smith and Chris Hinton can develop and be starters on the line next year.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the offensive line. We got Bredesen's gonna be gone. Big Mike is gone. Runyon's gone.
Yeah.
We still got Jalen Mayfield and.
He's got Jalen Mayfield, who I like a lot.
Hayes was filling in for John
Cesar
Runyon.
Ruiz, is he gone?
No, Caesar's there. Yeah.
He's got another year. Ryan Hayes, he'll be more developed.
Yeah.
Because I think he was a tight end, right? They turned him into an offensive lineman.
I'm not exactly sure, but he played a couple of those early games, and he actually did solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another year under his belt.
Chuck Filiaga, younger guy,
Highly touted recruit.
Yep. So, I mean, Joel Honigford. We got guys there who we can plug and play.
Should be healthy.
Andrew Stuber.
Yeah. There's guys, honestly, like, on the defensive and offensive side, like, we're losing some people. And, look, that's kind of, like, a part of it. But I still feel like there's a lot of talent, like, left for next year to, like, be really good. Dylan McCaffrey, I think, is a stud. Joe Milton. Joe Milton's my boy.
I think this will actually be the first like legit quarterback battle we'll see here, because you know how Jim's always going like, oh, there's a battle at quarterback between like Wilton Spate and John O'Corn, and you're kind of like, is there really a battle?
Yeah.
I don't know. But this one, like, I kind of feel a little bit more like.
We still don't really,
Joe can
know.
steal it.
I kind of hope he does, man. I just want to see a big quarterback with a big arm, and he can run a little bit.
He can juke, man.
So I mean, I don't know what it is, but I'd like to see him out there. I think I would, I think he's got more upside than McCaffrey.
Yeah.
We know McCaffrey can run.
Yeah.
I think he can throw a little bit. I like when he's in there. I just think there's more upside with Joe Milton.
Dude,
he's more fun to watch.
Freak of nature. If you could build a QB in a lab, you would build Joe
Milton. Yeah.
Like
big arm, big body.
That's exactly what I want.
He's fast. He can, he has great agility.
So I mean, just kind of projecting into the future, I go like, honestly, there's a lot of upside for this team, and so even though we're gonna lose some guys, I'm going like, hey,
I think what can make this team elite though is if these wide receivers decide to stay, and I really think that they should stay. This just, I know, like, obviously I have some bias, but I don't see these guys going that high in the draft. But I do think that if they have a stellar year next year, they can go really high. So I feel like there is a lot of potential for their earnings to just boost even more. Yeah. And,
you think like DPJ, I mean, they always say, like, he's got NFL-ready, like, body type and all these kinds of things. Like, he's kind of ready to go. Do you think if he stayed another year, he could actually improve his draft stock significantly?
I think he could, because I think this year, with the injury at the start, it kind of, like, made him fall back a little bit, and then he didn't get a lot of game tape that he probably could have got, especially against some of those, like, lower-level schools.
Yeah. Nico, you think he could improve his stock at all?
It just feels like, to me, with Nico, it's just a lot of, like, deep balls, right? And catching stuff. It's like catching balls, like, when they're, 50-50, and that's great and all, but, like, I don't know. I just feel like these guys have a lot of potential to go, like, even higher in the draft. And so, like, why not just stay another year? Like,
yeah, what was the last, like, first-round draft pick from Michigan that was on the offensive side of the ball? I don't even know.
Because Denard wasn't a first rounder, right?
No.
Taylor Lewan.
It's probably
Was Taylor Lewan? Was he
Taylor
a first rounder?
Lewan, yeah. It's just like linemen. Jake
yeah.
Long, Taylor
Jake Long was
Lewan.
number 1 overall. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how much we're hurting for like a major offensive playmaker, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I cannot think of like a wide receiver that's gone.
Braylon, I don't.
Braylon Amara, Manningham, Steve Breston.
Like second round or third round picks.
I don't remember.
No, but I mean, okay, I can get on board with you with that kind of context, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Nico, DPJ, they could maybe,
But it's also like, hey, you can go get your money, do what you want. That's cool with me too.
Yeah, I'm not mad. Yeah.
I would say, like, I think having the wide receivers stay there would make this team elite, right? But I still think that they can have a great year without them, because we have seen guys like, Sainer Stoll and Giles Jackson, Cornelius Johnson's even come in,
Yeah.
Even
like Michael Barrett, right? right? I think he could be kind of an athlete all over the field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we've
could get
got,
Chris Evans back.
Yep, Chris
Yeah,
Evans.
holy shit, I forgot about that.
You know, there's still talent there,
Yeah.
right? And obviously Ronnie Bell's coming back, who was our best wide receiver this year. That's you know.
Yeah.
I think you could maybe make the case for Nico, but dude, Ronnie was so vital to the team doing well. He had the most
huge.
catches, like
Most yards, yeah.
most yards.
One touchdown.
That's so
One
crazy.
touchdown.
It's so weird. Yeah, well, I mean, kind of, I guess, looking into the future, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this team. Not necessarily feeling so good about this upcoming game, but a win here could set a huge precedent, right?
Yeah, another great thing, like we were talking about Ohio State. If we can beat them, it's great for recruiting.
Yeah.
I mean, just
same
like
spiel.
beating a team, even if it is like a beaten down Alabama team, which they're still a really good team. They've lost, 2 games, and they were to LSU and then a rivalry game to Auburn. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we got waxed out there. But, if we can come out and compete and, win a close game, which I think it would be, it wouldn't be a blowout by any means. That'd be huge for recruiting.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
And just, setting momentum going into next season.
That would be massive. That would literally just be exactly what this program needs to maybe push it that last step towards elite.
Especially with the wide receivers staying in school.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at Ohio State, they're going to lose a lot of people. They already lost another guy to the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to rely on a whole bunch of young guys. So I feel like maybe that's something where if these wide receivers stay, we have a lot more chance to do better in that specific game.
Speaking of Ohio State, did you see the rumor, at least, that Chase Young is staying?
No way.
No way.
He's just saying that.
I
saw the rumor. I
yeah,
saw the rumor.
I
I
saw
was
the-
like, shut up.
I was like, what? Yeah.
Why would you say?
Yeah, why would you?
He could be. He could
He
be
could
a
be
top
first
10
overall.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5 pick. It could be number 1. Like,
Yeah, who knows?
What is the purpose of him staying? Unless he's like in medical school or something. Like.
I'm sorry, Chase Young ain't in medical school.
Just like, there's no purpose for him to stay. He's got his check ready and made out. He just needs to fucking sign it.
Yeah,
Like,
he's ready.
There's no upside for him to stay.
No,
At all.
I was scratching my head going like, is this true? Like,
Personally, though, we did a great job against him this year. So,
yeah,
Did? Yeah.
yeah.
we just did.
Top stuff,
but-
so we're going back to that.
I'll tell you what, we lost that game, but the way that they handled Chase Young in that game was probably one of the reasons. If he had a big Heisman moment in that game where he had
Oh,
like
he would've
5
won the
sacks,
Heisman,
he would have won the
probably.
Heisman.
Yeah.
Right? But the fact that he didn't have that because, we at least had a good strategy against him,
Yeah.
I think you could say he didn't win the Heisman because the way that...
Yeah, what do you guys think about Joe Burrow winning the
Fucking
Heisman?
stud. Love him.
Yeah, that was awesome. I loved
It was
it.
pretty sweet.
Go
yeah.
Tigers.
Go. I heard that USC interviewed Ed Orgeron and they didn't hire him because
Didn't like his voice.
somebody didn't like his voice.
Idiots, man. That is ridiculous.
That's hilarious. I'm like, what? What? Are you serious? Oh man. Well, I mean, it sounds like we don't really have a whole lot to say
We
about
really
this
don't,
Alabama matchup because the matchup itself speaks for itself. And then looking forward, like we're saying, a lot of positives to look forward to, but we just got to get to that 2020 season, kind of off season going. In terms of recruiting, right? Guys have been out, the coaches have been out, or all around the country. A couple big recruits. I don't know if anybody's got them pulled up.
Oh, yeah.
Who was some guy solidified his signing right this week or verbally committed or something?
Defensive end.
Yeah, what was his name? Does anybody know?
Pulling it up right now. But 4-star guy.
Yeah,
Is
four-star.
Jalen Harrell from Tampa?
That might be him. I don't know.
Let me see.
6'4", 235. I think that was the guy.
Defensive end.
Yeah. Honestly, my guy who I'm really looking forward to is Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that guy
Jalen
is-
Harrell, I think, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's so fast, dude. He has such great agility. You look at him, you're like, he's a 4-star. He's ranked like 12th in his position. But, dude, I just feel like something about this guy, he's going to be so hard to stop. He's 5'8", which honestly, I kind of like a short running back because they're so hard to see, right?
Yeah.
When I played football, it was like, I don't know where the hell he's at. So it's like, I don't know. I'm really excited for him because he's got a lot of speed and space, right? Going to the Gaddis. thing. He's
blends right into the system, so perfect.
And then we're pretty. It looks like this Darian Green-Warren.
Oh yeah, we're waiting on him.
Back, yeah, we're waiting on him.
So yeah, I mean, there's some guys that were kind of coming around. We're not getting huge 5 stars or nothing, but
no. But then we got that C.J. Stroud guy, quarterback. But I think he's kind of leaning.
I think he's
somewhere else.
Ohio State guy, right?
Oh yeah, never mind. This is 100% Ohio State. So I don't know if he's committed yet or what, but
it's like half of our page just. Oh yeah, we're actually committed to Ohio State.
No,
I think Braden McGregor's gonna be really good.
AJ Henning, he's gonna be a stud.
Yeah, wide receiver. Yep. So we got some studs coming in, but like I'm saying, I think we're 11th class ranking.
We are
11th.
Yeah.
Second in the Big Ten. Average rating is a .89.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, that's frustrating because you know exactly what we need to compete against these elite schools.
Yeah.
But
if we had 2 5-stars a part of this class, I'd be like, this is about as good as we can get.
Yeah, you know? This is a baller class. Yeah.
But we've also seen so many 5-stars at Michigan just not end up being anything. Yeah.
In the 2017 class, something like 17 transfers or 17 guys like didn't pan out. Whether they transferred, got kicked off the team, something like that. And that was like a huge class with like 30 guys.
Mm-hmm.
But that was also like, you know, who's that guy? The defensive line went to Tennessee.
Aubrey
Solomon. Yeah. So guys like that who it's like we scored on some good recruits, and then they transfer out, or you know they get dismissed or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's just like so common, especially like as a freshman. I know you're a 5-star, but dude, you expect to start like right away? Like unless you're like super good, I don't get it. I don't get it. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I say just like go to the school, right? Bust your ass, work as hard as you can, and then maybe by your junior year, you're like, dude, I've worked so hard and I can't get anywhere. There's only a certain amount of time I have left. I'm gonna go transfer. But just to like transfer as a freshman, it's like, I don't, I had one thing with the coach. Like it just seems like
It seems like a real snap decision, kind of young guy making a rash decision.
Yeah, I don't know. But, hey, everybody's got to do what they got to do.
Yeah,
right?
You got to make the decisions you think is best for you. Yeah. Well, other than that, I mean, you guys want to transition into some basketball talk? I mean, we had some big basketball games, and we came up pretty short.
3 losses.
Yeah. I mean, the month of November, we were just on fire.
Here's my thing. Like, I went to the game on Saturday.
Okay, nice.
And, first of all, it was a fun game.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting. I was walking out of Chrysler Arena, and, like, I was behind some Michigan fans, and they were like, you know what? It was just a fun game. And I'm just like, wow, we lost to a top 10 team, and our fan base in basketball is just completely different than our fan base in football.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's almost like a breath of fresh air, like going to a basketball event. You're like, everybody's positive. Like, if something happens, nobody's like, what the hell? Fire the coach. Like, everybody's freaking out.
And I was like, we talked about it too. Like, with basketball, like, it doesn't really matter. You could lose 10 games in a season, and, like, who cares? As long as you make it in the tournament, anything can happen. Yeah. Where, like, football, it's like, oh, shit, lose one game. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, see ya, unless you just, like, blow out every other team. Yeah. So, I think it's just easier for basketball that way. But, yeah, it doesn't ruin my day like football does.
Do you have any like expectations for them this season?
I didn't have any expectations going in, but Eli Brooks has played way better than he did last year. He looks way more comfortable, way more confident. So I think that's great that, whatever Juwan Howard did with him or whatever happened during the offseason, like he's looked awesome.
David Julius is playing. He's playing. I feel like those guys in the Oregon game, they had that full court press going. And they just didn't seem as confident in that situation. But overall, over the course of the season, I'm like, dude, Eli Brooks is like, I was like, wow, he's actually like playing legitimate. Yeah. It was weird in that Oregon game. Teske was like irrelevant. I think he had like he had a free throw at the end of the game, pretty much. And then, Xavier, I love Xavier, dude. He's such the dude captain on the floor.
Yeah, I was seeing some stuff about that last game, like, people were like, how do you feel about Xavier Simpson? Are you disappointed in what we've seen this year? I'm like, what are they watching?
Yeah,
or am I not watching it right? Like, I'm super pleased with Xavier Simpson.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how I feel about Franz Wagner yet. I do not like him right now.
Dude, I think Franz is just like going through some like growing pains right now. You can tell like he's there. Like he made a big shot to go up by I think 1 or 2 towards the end of the game. I was like, dude, that's a big shot. This guy has a lot of potential, and I think he'll be there for maybe kind of just like his brother Mo. He'll be there for another like 2 years. And dude, I'm excited for the team, and I think honestly, like if you look at it, you're like, okay, we lost 3 games in a row, but they're all pretty good teams. They each had, Illinois was
a good team. Though.
Illinois is a good team.
They had a close loss to Maryland at Maryland. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember the guy's name that they went up against, or that Teskey went up against.
Oh, they have some big boys.
That guy was so big. He made Teskey look like a little kid.
Yeah,
it was insane. I think these three losses though, you're going up against some good talent. You've performed against Gonzaga and UNC really well, so they're getting good experience, even though it might not come as W's right now. Maybe later on, all this experience playing against like super, high talented teams, like it's going to work out. I think in their favor at the end of the season.
And again, it's so early on in the season where it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
kind of what happens right now. So yeah, it's good. They're getting that experience against tough teams beginning of the season, and then kind of we can grow from there and kind of see what happens. So. I mean, actually, looking back, Franz Wagner had a good game against Oregon. He had 21 points. I think it was 8 of 13 from the field. But up until that game, I don't know. I didn't feel great about him. Mm-hmm. But if he can keep improving and do that, like I'll be much happier.
Dude, the missed dunks in that game.
Brandon Johns had 2 of them. I was like, Johns. I like him too.
Yeah, I like him too. Yeah.
I just like this team, and I feel like. Right now, they're kind of at that point where they're just a little bit inconsistent, right, coming into the game. And I just want them to really, continue to improve and then find that consistency late in the season. And then that would transition into, going deep into the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely look at this team right now and I just go like, okay, this team is going to be in the tournament. It's just how far are they going to go?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
I think they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah,
which is good.
I just have a good time watching them. I just like watching Coach Howard.
Dude, I really like Coach Howard.
Yeah.
Awesome.
During the game, he was upset with one of his players, and he was going to grab the ball to show him how to
he loves coaching.
Take the dribble and show him what to do. And the ref was like, "I'm trying to get the ball, dude." And Jordan's like, "No, I'm getting the ball," and he slammed it down and gripped the ball. He's like, "You have to do this," and
that's awesome.
But he's always taking those opportunities where he can coach and make the players better, which is great.
He's involved.
That's
awesome. Love it. Yeah,
dude, I got a sick poster at the game. It was Chrysler Vacation or something. It was their Christmas theme. So I got a poster.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's got all of them a Christmas theme.
Nice. Put it up in the Blue by 90 studio.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, no, I mean, basketball season is upon us. I mean, pretty soon football will be done and we'll transition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have too much more. You guys got anything?
Good.
No, I'm good, man.
No? All right, well, listen to us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Other than that, go Blue.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.